Well, the National Guard will soon be leaving Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland. President Trump announced yesterday that he is withdrawing troops from the three cities in a social media post. But he also suggested the troops could be redeployed, and it would be in a, quote, much different and stronger form. His announcement follows a federal judge's decision in November to block the Guard from deploying to Portland. Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield responded to the decision in a statement yesterday saying, quote, "This outcome shows that standing up for the Constitution works," end quote. This is just the latest in a tense back and forth between Oregon leadership and the Trump administration. And it all began when Portland protests against the president's immigration policies caught national attention. Here's Blair Best with a look at how we got here.
Protests outside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement building in South Portland have been ongoing since June in response to masked ICE agents arresting immigrants in communities across the region.
I'm just horrified at the way they're treating immigrants.
We are here because we believe this matters.
Conservatives like me think it's a joke.
Thousands marched in nationwide No Kings protests against the Trump administration. Following those peaceful demonstrations, a small group camped outside the Portland ICE building, where clashes between protesters and federal law enforcement escalated.
I personally have been maced 6 times, pepperballed quite a few.
In August, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, made an unannounced visit to the Portland ICE facility and later threatened to send National Guard troops. In the following weeks, President Trump negatively characterized Portland on repeat.
You look at what's happened with Portland over the years, it's a burning hellhole.
Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone.
Portland is like burning to the ground.
Rhetoric local leaders rejected.
We do not need or want federal troops in Oregon.
In late September, President Trump federalized 200 Oregon National Guard troops, citing threats to the federal ICE building from Antifa and other domestic terrorists. That move was quickly met with a lawsuit from Oregon's Attorney General. On October 1st, President Trump said troops were in place in Portland, though none were seen on the ground. A federal judge halted the deployment. Trump then attempted to send troops from California and Texas instead. A judge blocked that plan too. Hundreds of people continued to demonstrate outside the ICE building, followed by face-offs between protesters and well-known conservative social media influencers.
We are Charlie Kirk!
A bunch of Trump supporters came out and, well, actually just a couple of them, came out and started attacking people.
That's insanity. That's insanity. We're out here recording and supporting ICE.
President Trump invited those conservative influencers to the White House.
We're the ones that were on the ground. We're the ones that are actually reporting what's going on.
This is nothing short other than a sustained attack on the United States.
Meanwhile, a different kind of protest was hatching. Cue the frogs.
Be in stark contrast to, the violent rhetoric that's going around.
The Willamette Week naming the frog Portlander of the Year.
We're not violent, and what better way to show that we're not violent than to be in a freaking frog costume?
On October 7th, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visits the Portland ICE building.
Secretary, what do you hope to accomplish by visiting Portland today?
We hope to have peace and secure some partnerships that will keep our officers safe and allow us to enforce federal law.
One day later, the Ninth Circuit ruled troops can remain federalized but kept out of the Rose City pending a hearing. ICE agents continued to make arrests, protests dragged on, and a federal helicopter circled the ICE building for hours at a time. It all began to take a toll on the neighborhood.
Very, very loud. It's been disturbing us for, 2 weeks now?
Sleep, rest, pretty much anything impacted day and night.
200 federalized National Guard troops remained on standby while the legal case played out in court. At a trial in late October, it was revealed some troops were deployed to the ICE building for a short time, despite a temporary restraining order. A federal judge ended up barring the Trump administration from deploying troops. Trump appealed. Half of the troops went home, while the remaining 100 stayed in Oregon waiting for orders. Fast forward to December 23rd, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration in a similar case in Chicago. And on New Year's Eve, President Trump posted to social media that he's dropping his push for now to deploy troops to Portland.